Nobody comes into this house without paying the price.
Not here! Not ever!
It is that time once again, ladies and gentlemen. It is the MBL rookie draft where losers become winners and winners probably still become winners because they have draft picks too. Nick Mazesco, the Commissioner Bomber. Sonny will be joining us in just a little bit. So happy to be along with you. I think is this the first rookie draft we've done a broadcast for since the reboot? I think it is.
Yeah, definitely. And Sonny Weaver, the draft guru, the guy that's draft guru number 2. He's got a book of dreams that's supposed to give us some insight on all these players that are getting taken. So hopefully he puts his kid to bed, gets on here, and he can share with us some of this information as we go along in this draft with the Packers trading up to number 1. That was an interesting little topic. But, yeah, our first rookie draft since we kind of restarted this MBL thing in Season 51. This is MBL Season 54, so ready to get this rocking and rolling.
Let's get it rolling. The Packers are officially on the clock. You know a lot about this Packers team, Bomber. Redemption, the owner, a good team that is only going to get better by having the top overall pick.
Yeah, this is a team that's got a lot of talent at those skill positions on the offensive side of the ball. There was a lot of questions about if Jordan Love was going to be shipped. When they moved to number 1, you got to think quarterback, but I'm not thinking quarterback anymore. Some people have even speculated tight end. I've been told that isn't where they're going either. So I'm interested to see where this Green Bay Packers team goes. They're just an offensively loaded team. You know, had the rookie last year, the speedster at wide receiver. Now let's see where they go in their next pick, because this is the team that won the division there in the NFC North.
Obviously, having the top overall pick, too good. I mean, at the end of the day, there's so much talent at the top of this draft. Obviously, when Sonny Weaver joins us, he'll let us know. But Zay Bryan goes number 1 overall. They go tight end. Certainly a weapon.
Speedy tight end goes off the board. And now the Texans pick is in, and they go for the speedy quarterback out of South Dakota State, John Hearns.
We don't even have a card for the number 1 overall pick, which is crazy. Let's talk about, and that's not even one of the, there we go. Let's talk about John Hearns, okay? Let's talk about John Hearns as way as this draft is going to, fly by the way it's going. Let's talk about John. Or South Dakota State. Is it? No, they definitely put the North Dakota State logo on there.
Yeah, that's wrong.
OBS has
John
just
Hearns is
lost
a
its
speedy.
mind.
Hey, this is a guy with a lot of talent. He's got a solid arm, but he can move. Speedster, was able to do things that we haven't seen in a while at the quarterback position in college football. You know, this is a guy out of the backfield. I mean, taking shotgun snaps, and he's just got that weapon where, hey, if everybody's gone and you need him to improvise, he can do that. If everybody's downfield and you need him to take off, he can do that. You can't contain this guy. He was uncontainable in college. He was just too fast. Maybe a little Vanilla Vic action here, or the quarterback taken by the Houston Texans at 2.
We also saw off the board one of the cornerbacks. We got Giles off the board. Tracy Giles out of Florida to the Eagles. But, man, I feel like John Hearns is could be a problem. Let's talk about Tracy Giles a little bit. Florida cornerback. Florida not always been particularly consistent with their cornerback prospects. Yeah. A little up or down. Those C.J. Henderson fans out there are going, man, what happened to C.J. Henderson? But Tracy Giles is going to help out this Eagles secondary that can use some help.
Yeah, there's a lot of bust coming out of Florida, but this guy's a stud, and Giles is going to make it happen. He's going to be replacing Darius Slay in a way that, he hasn't played in a while. So I think they have this upside now at the cornerback position. This was a defense that was 26th in the MBL, and they were 28th against the rush, 20th against the pass. So I'm excited to see what he can do here.
New owner in the MBL, but an old friend in Eric G. First pick for the Cowboys. How about Delonte Newkirk going outside linebacker? And for Newkirk, Alabama pedigree, obviously, you're going to get somebody who is going to be a difference maker in day one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now we have Van Der Esch starting at middle linebacker for the Cowboys, and then Thaddeus Newhouse, that's the outside linebacker. And outside of that, they're looking for another star to come in there, another stud to make a play. So this is a good pick for the Cowboys early in the first round. Sure up that linebacker force. They're going to have 3 solid stud linebackers starting. The 22-year-old Newhouse, he's got nothing but the sky ahead of him. And Van Der Esch already an established middle linebacker there at 30 years old, still an X factor here in the MBL. So I'm excited to see what that trio at the linebacker position can do for the Cowboys. Hopefully help them stop something defensively.
How about pick number 8? Packers up once again. They go to Kyrie Townsend, the wide receiver. And man, talk about the rich get richer. They go add a tight end as a weapon. They go add the Notre Dame product at wide receiver. Safe to say, you think the Packers going to air the ball out a little bit?
Yeah, we saw a little bit of that last year. They were second in passing in the NBL, 9 in rushing. But, man, this is a team that's already loaded at the wide receiver position. Christian Watson, he's a superstar, 27 years old. Dave Sanford, that was the rookie from last year. Absolute stud, led the league in receiving yards. And now you're bringing in a tight end that's going to change the game and how they play. And then another wide receiver. I think it might be a little overkill. You brought in Jonathan Taylor when you had Aaron Jones, and now you're bringing in a third wide receiver. You're drafting him this early when you have, that kind of those kind of threats there at the wide receiver position. I mean, there's only one ball as far as I know coming into the NBL this season. There's not two footballs under center, is there?
I don't think so. I think it's still just one. We didn't change those rules, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we stayed with one. I mean, if there's 2, man, he's really set. He's gonna have multiple guys open throughout the play. But I mean, with one ball, I just don't know how all this group of 4 is going to be able to, stay happy and get the touches that they need.
We get another quarterback off the board at pick number 11. The quarterback out of Texas A&M, Paul Waters, goes to New Orleans. Of course, New Orleans knows a little bit about getting some good quarterbacks out there. And for Paul Waters, I mean, this is somebody who has a tall task ahead of them to revitalize this Saints offense. But the young kid's getting great marks out of college.
And here's where he's coming in. He's coming in with a 27th ranked pass offense. They were 12th running the ball, so they have a solid established running game. But Derek Carr just wasn't the guy getting it done. You're going to see him head to the bench. Jack Herner, your job is you're probably going to end up cut by the end of the preseason. But that's an aggressive pick. I don't think the Saints believed that Walker was going to fall into the 9, 10, 11, 12 spot for the New Orleans Saints. So that's a big pickup, and he's going to be throwing to Olave early and often this season. Don't forget Devin Morris there, number 83 for the New Orleans Saints. Also a special target, only 22 years old.
Pick number 12. Somebody who has developed a lot of tight ends in his career as an owner in the NBL, in Porter, and he goes with the tight end, Bobby Bryson. The teammate of quarterback Paul Waters goes to Miami, helping to shore up that offense. I mean, how many weapons do the Miami Dolphins need to be successful offensively?
They haven't been successful yet. So I guess you just keep licking and ticking until you get to the point where you start having resemble us. They were 25th passing the ball. They were 20th in points scored. Somehow they do need more help scoring touchdowns and getting the ball down the field. So, I mean, even with weapons like Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, maybe another player might help them get some more points on the board. I mean, this team is kind of struggling to score somehow.
We go to another one of your NFC North division mates here at pick 14, the Chicago Bears. Pick in middle of this first round. Still lots of talent left on the board.
Yeah, Chicago's got into a new offense last season. they feel about mid-season. They kind of figured out this offense book. They got their scheme going. They're going to be a dangerous team. I always expect them early picks in the first round. They're going to go defensive side of the ball. That's what I'm usually thinking, and they do. Deion Chambers, defensive tackle.
And let's talk about Mr. Chambers out of UCF. Shout out to the Knights. Orlando, Florida native, and now he's going to try to shore up a defense, looking for both some run stopping and maybe a little pressure up the middle.
Yeah, San Fran has been hitting the lines early and often. Do not take my player here.
Just say it louder so they can hear it.
San Francisco 49ers, they've been looking all season. They've been trying to trade and boost up their defensive line with a stud. They've asked about players such as Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson. This is a team that's looking to make that big move and put Aaron Donald and Bosa with another triple threat, as they lost TJ Watt this offseason. Couldn't re-sign him. So let's see what they end up doing. And they don't take my guy.
They go offensive side of the ball, right tackle Antoine Stevenson out of Miami.
Yeah, that's solid. Sure up the offensive line. I mean, this is a trenches team, right? This is a team that loves their offensive line, their front line on defense and offense. They like to bolster up that line, and they've done a phenomenal job. This is a team that was first in pass rush defense. They were 6th in rushing yards. I mean, this team is a gutted out in the trenches kind of team, so I'm not surprised they took that offensive line.
All right, talk to me about these lines. What are we thinking here with pick number 16 in round 1?
We're going defensive end. We're going to go Jeffrey Rodgers, or as they say, Rodgers. J-Rod. Oh, whoa, not actually J-Rod. All right, left end, North Carolina, Tar Heel, Michael Jordan. That's what we're hoping we get here for this offensive lineman. He is hidden dev. He had both his arms flexing, so if that means anything anymore, which I don't think it does, but I hope.
Oh, where are we going next? We're going Tennessee. Hoorah! How's Rodgers look? Not bad?
Hey, looks good.
All right. It's always nice when you pick somebody and it's not an immediate disappointment. They go wide receiver.
like
Devin
last year.
Hankins out of Oregon State. Shout out to the Beavers, former Pac-12 school.
Now, this is a team already said that they were looking for some speed at that wide receiver position. They were looking for someone with the JU ice, the juice, and maybe they got it here at wide receiver. You know, maybe this happens. And this is a team that has Manny Johnson, wide receiver, 23 years old. He's got some burners to him. He's solid. Alan Pierce, 26-year-old. They needed a more wide receiver talent in that wide receiver room, and I think they just got it in the first round. That's a nice pickup. I love Devin Hankins out of Oregon State. Let's see if it translates to the MBL, though. That was the thing with him. Big games, didn't really show up. Can he make it happen in the big leagues? And we're going to find out soon.
Raiders go, I'm sorry, Junior Ivory, tough name. Boston College. Shout out to Amherst, Mass. And the Boston College Eagles. The Raiders looking for some help on the back end of that pass defense.
Yeah, and that's a cornerback out of Boston College, right?
Yep.
Ranked the number 1 cornerback. As we got closer to this draft, he became the absolute favorite number 1 corner. This is not a corner-strong draft. I think this is the first corner off the board. He was ranked the top corner. You know, the only issue with him is going to be speed. You know, can he keep up? And we're going to find out. But, man, the talent is there. The physicality is there. I like Junior Ivy. He was on our draft board. So I can tell you, man, this guy's a player, and they had him going mid to late first round. Raiders were able to get on him. Nobody jumped on him early. That could be a really good steal there for Oakland. I mean, for the Vegas Raiders.
I like that. You question the speed. Don't the Raiders have I've seen on the trade block an 87 speed corner that they're trying to get rid of. Perhaps they take somebody like that. Just post the picture. I did. Okay, he took these pictures at the worst angle I've ever seen. Come on, man. Can we just get a little?
Dude, you got to go to Neon Sports and see Fat's
91 speed.
His team logos that he put up. He put up a whole 1080 size. So you got to scroll all the way down past this
big logo
wallpaper. His wallpaper. His big wallpaper to get to his team. But I'm trying to see who this corner he was trying to move was. They got Jacorian Bennett. That's a speedster. He's at 98 speed. They got Nate Hobbs, another superstar corner. They're going to have 3 stud corners right now. And, yeah, it was Pat Yates, the superstar, 87 speed, 86 agility, 91 excel corner.
Dude runs like
I guess they're
Pac-Man.
trying to move, actually. 67 press, 54 zone coverage, 77 man. I was about to say, well, he is superstar. I was like, yo, I might. No. We not enough time. Not enough time. Marco Strude, right
Florida
end.
State. Do we have a card for him? Let's find out. Do we have a card for Marco? Nope. Carry on. When you see this black screen, it's because Nick's looking for a card.
Hey, I had a lot of defensive ends on my board. Marco Strude was not one of them. Florida State Seminole. We'll see how his game translate. Kind of a flash in the pan late, getting and moving up the draft board. We'll see if it pays off for Atlanta. Atlanta's been a solid team this entire cycle, so hopefully they get a bang there. And there's the number 1 left end off the board now with the Washington Commanders, Mitch Ashmore. A lot of mock drafts had him going top 5. He falls all the way to 20 out of Boise State. Not the first defensive end taken off the board, too. I think the 3rd one. So, man, that's quite a fall, as Mitch Ashmore was pronounced the best defensive end in the draft.
Phil Stanton going to the Buffalo Bills, left tackle out of Ohio State. I know he's going to be great. He's an Ohio State offensive lineman.
Buffalo, this is an owner that's always looking for offensive line. We've seen this ownership in previous cycles. It's the offensive line spammer in your DMs looking for anything of value. And right there, I mean, this is a team that Ryan Kelly's 33 years old. That's their best offensive lineman. He's 77. You know, then they have a couple 23, 24-year-olds, subpar 75. So hopefully this guy's a hitter for their offensive line, because they need a stud to start carrying this team. You know, this is a team that ranked 32nd in rushing, 7th in passing. They got to get something established in the run game.
Saw a tight end go to the Cleveland Browns as they add another weapon to the offense. And then quickly the Cardinals jumped on Matt Fryer, D-tackle out of Oklahoma State. This first round flying through. Jerry Ball, left outside linebacker from Penn State, to help the Texans. Texans doing some work. And there's Eric G's 2nd pick as the Cowboys owner. He goes tight end. This tight end class, incredibly deep.
Yeah. Sonny's analytics showed 5, 6, 7 tight ends of value to draft in a day 1, day 2-ish kind of thing. And you're seeing them go off the board late in this first round. Teams probably panicking, thinking these tight ends aren't going to make it to that middle 2nd round, where a lot of them were hoping to take, especially B.J. Langford. This was a mid-2nd round, day 2 guy. And Cowboys just kind of thought, man, you know what? We're not going to get there. He's not going to fall to us, man. The tight ends are flying off the board. And that's when you start seeing teams get a little aggressive. But I like the pickup defensive tackle there for the Cardinals. They have nobody in their front line that is going to play like this rookie. You got Leonard Williams, the 32-year-old. He's going to mentor this defensive tackle, but their front line is going to be Tyree Williams, B.J. Ojorley, and Leonard Williams. And that's a solid front line along with the rook. They're going to see if they can make some things happen and stop the
Another
run
tight end.
and get some
Is this the 5th or 6th tight end off the board to Baltimore? Markel Thomas out of LSU.
Here it comes. It's going to be a flood. Remember, this draft, we're covering the first round here on the live stream, already hitting towards the end of it. But Markel Thomas off the board, another day 2 guy that.
This is the quickest rookie draft stream I've ever done.
It's the what?
This is the quickest rookie draft.
Yeah. I don't think they remember how to do it.
They don't.
Anymore.
They really don't. We'll work on it next year. But everybody's supposed to wait until we
a little bit.
So you can pick. Like, give us a second. I think we used to pause it in between each pick.
Yeah, at first because people just couldn't.
Because
You
people
took
just
it away
didn't.
from their hands.
Yeah. Oh well. What can you do? By the way, I'm looking at posting some of these screenshots of the players. I love that they got Matt Fryer, the defensive tackle to T-Jax and the Cardinals. He's got A impact blocking as a D tackle. That's just good to hear that he can go out there. They can put him at the like William the Fridge Perry at fullback.
Doesn't it work on defense for the secondary blocks too? You can get off them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that's what they said. Could be wrong.
Taj
But
Lawton.
yeah, put him in the backfield.
Yeah. Like, just
Put
put
him in the
back
backfield and have him block at fullback. That's a thought.
there. Eric G says, I will not lie. I'm trying to speed through this so I can make my second round pick. Who doesn't love speeding through 2 first-round picks? Taj
Hopefully
Lawton?
that doesn't mean he made a mistake.
Probably. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, probably. Taj Lawton out of Georgia. Man, Georgia defensive linemen, so many good ones in the NFL right now. And the MBL adds a good one with Taj Lawton to shore up Ura's D-line.
This is a good draft for Tennessee. They take care. They had 2 first-round picks here, and they take care of that wide receiver position. As I said, it was Manny Johnson and then everybody else. And Manny's going to be a stud. They bring in another wide receiver that's going to make some plays, and now they shore up their defensive line that they got a couple ends, Jeffrey Simmons and Cam Brown. Outside of that, their defensive tackle room was completely deflated and just non-existent as far as on the field as well. So this is a good pickup. Lawton, he should come in here out of Georgia. Out of Georgia. The Bulldogs should come in here and make some plays there for Tennessee. This is a defense that was 23rd against the rush. They needed a D tackle that can come in there and blow some of these runs up.
Bucks clock runs out. Let's see who they get. Matthew Groves, outside linebacker out of Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner, new SEC school.
Tampa coming off a season where they were 5-12, moved back in the draft, and
Top 5
not
projection.
much to say here. Yeah, they got a top 5 projection guy that dropped because maybe a little overrated after closely looking at some tape. Didn't do particularly well in his interviews. Matthew Groves has got to come in here and make an impact. They're 25th against the rush defensively and 22nd against the pass. They allow the 25th most points. I guess the 7th most points. They're 25th in points allowed. And then the 27th in total yards allowed. This team has just got completely destroyed all over the field. Maybe you can get some pressure with Matthew Groves, outside linebacker.
Carolina Panthers on the clock. What a year they had.
My controller. Your controller's disconnected. Oh,
I got it, homie. Settle down.
I thought it was me. I was like, what the hell?
You start turning it on. You're like, hold on.
I hit B on my thing, and I'm like, I'm looking back, and I'm like, we didn't do anything. Oh, yeah, that ain't my stream. Carolina, this is the regular season superhero, the ultimate warriors of the regular season. 1 loss last season. Where do they go here after a disappointing playoff run? They had the game in the bag, and the New York Giants just stole that game from them at the end. Building the franchise, punched their ticket to the Super Bowl. That NFC Championship game was a big letdown for Carolina after a 17-1 season. They're letting the clock wind down all the way here.
Is it just going to go all the way? Yeah, it's going to go all the way. Who'd they get? Randall Walker, cornerback out of Indiana.
Indiana.
Known for their football prowess.
Right. This is a team that doesn't really. This is definitely a stud coming out of Indiana, but not known for their football team, right? And at cornerback, you just wonder what you're going to get and how it's going to translate to the pros. So we'll find out. Carolina, they do a good job scouting and bringing in players that fit their scheme. So I'm sure there's some speed behind this cornerback. I just don't know much about him. They got J.C. Horn. They signed Darius Slay this offseason. As we talked about Philly replacing Darius Slay early in this draft. But, yeah, right now they're sitting with 2 solid cornerbacks. J.C. Horn, obviously the 35-year-old Darius Slay. Now you bring in this rookie in the first round. You just hope it hits for him. Probably going to get mentored by Darius Slay, so that's going to be a good situation for him.
And just like that, we're at the end of the first round, Bomber. We missed a lot of picks because these guys blew through them quicker than I blow through a box of Little Debbie's donuts. But we get
Oat
to
milk
kick
cream
off
pies over here, baby.
the elite Little Debbie snack, right? Like it's OCP all the way.
Yeah, it's insane how nobody just copied that.
How did
Like, how's it not
Hostess not
6
put one out?
options of that?
Yeah, how did Hostess not be like, we're gonna make oatmeal cream pie now?
Yeah, I mean,
Is it because cream pie's on the box and they're like, I don't know if we can put that out. I don't know if we can say that.
cream pie.
Is it just? I don't know if we can. Hello?
Yeah, it does seem like maybe it should have like some of those little asterisk, things to block up the actual spelling of the word. Does seem a little aggressive now. I think about it.
It's a little aggressive. By the way, Ricky
you
Elfman.
never heard of a
Ricky
oatmeal cream
Elfman
pie,
does
cream
look like
pie?
he'd mug you in an alley. And give me all your money.
Ricky Elfman looks like, he looks like some like undercover KGB. No, yeah, maybe.
All right, so can we talk just a second before we, I don't know, close this thing out after let me just check notes. 29-minute first round. How about
Still wasn't that quick though.
No.
30 minutes around, man. We're gonna be here forever.
how about the year? It is so rare to see BTF follows usually the best storylines, but to see a BTF team get all the way to the MBL Super Bowl, I mean, a special season for those New York Giants.
Yeah, we came in as a 3 seed, right? And the Giants, we moved up 1 before this whole season started. Let's start from there, right? Move up to 1. We draft a quarterback, injured the first week, and I was told Daniel Jones will never see a field in a Giants uniform again. So, I mean, I asked and asked. I'm a Daniel Jones supporter, but we draft the rookie Adrian Hundley, plays week 1, gets hurt. In comes Daniel Jones, and he becomes a superstar for our franchise once again. And he's just making all the throws all correctly at the right time, making the great reads. He got the most out of that offense. Drake London, Jalen Hyatt, playoff Paris Campbell, even shout out to Wandale. He's no longer with the team, became a free agent this last offseason, but man, he played good for us. David Njoku played much better than we ever got at the tight end position this season. Saquon was dominant. He was the NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Dexter Lawrence, Defensive Player of the Year. Great stuff happening, and we just got hot at the right time. And that comeback against Carolina, I thought, wow, this is going to be one of those Cinderella stories. Unfortunately, get to the Super Bowl. Indianapolis Colts have other plans. And, we keep it close. We play a competitive game. It was a fun watch.
Lot to look forward to this season, obviously. A new full season in the NBL. This is where I think is the most exciting time to be a fan of the NBL because, you get a couple season in and you're starting to see those early rookies that were drafted in season 51, 52. They're starting to develop, and you're starting to see the NBL really take shape with a new generation of players.
Yeah, there's a lot of players that when I'm calling these games, I'm like, who the hell is that?
Yeah, right?
And that's a good thing. Fresh blood, got to stay on top of what's going on, got to pay attention, I think that happening and then that cruise happening for me, I come back and I'm like, who are some of these people? Like now they're starting to ball out, right? And you got to start learning their name, and that's where it's going to become fun. And you're going to get to see who really left their print on their drafts, right? Who's really putting that draft product on the field and having success with it. And that's going to stretch out and create some separation between some of these teams.
Well, 1 round is in the books, and that kind of wraps up what we got here. But what I'm excited for, Bomber, is with MCS season ending, what does that mean? It means NBL season is beginning. We're going to have a lot more NBL live this year. BTF, obviously, our great podcasts that are out there. The NBL Network's going to hit a great stride here as February and March come around. There's going to be plenty of content coming out.
And all streams are going to be available this season, so exciting time for us to pick and choose what games we want to see and what games we want to call here on the network. So expect more of that coming in NBL season 54, just right around the corner here in probably a couple hours. We'll be in preseason.
Appreciate everybody hanging out with us for round number 1 of the NBL Rookie Draft. If you want to watch the remaining 7 rounds, it'll stay live. I'll keep it live on my channel. I'll keep the stream up on my channel. So if you're out there and you want to watch how it ends, keep a commentary-free stream over on my channel. But Bomber, can't wait for this year and can't wait for plenty of action from the NBL.
Absolutely, man. Big things coming ahead. Getting our groove back with some great vibes in the chat. and hopefully that sustains because really enjoy getting in there and
Yeah,
seeing positivity at times.
absolutely.
Breezy, I'm talking to you.
Well, we're always talking to Reezy. I want to give a big shout out to our MBL graphics team for putting together those rookie cards. Looking clean out there. A big shout out to our draft guru, Sonny, for hopping around. I wouldn't say in, but it was around. I saw him chatting. Trust me, baby. Baby, come first.
Yeah, and I think his kids are bad. Sonny got bad kids.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Breaking news. on
Sonny,
the
your
MBL
kids
Network.
must be terrible. You didn't get on our stream.
Crazy strays.
That kid's Sonny. So thinking of that,
Enjoy
my kid's terrible, but-
enjoy the rest of the draft MBL. Best time of year. And enjoy all the action we're going to have on the MBL network. Make sure you follow the channel so you know when we go live with the MBL live games. They are going to be frequent and often here on the channel, so you're not going to want to miss all the MBL action. For the Commissioner Bomber, I'm Nick Mazesko. Cheers, everybody, to another year of the Madden Bomber League.